Alright guys, I'm going to do a video on how to shift an 18 speed. I got a GoPro over here on the window, I got the GoPro back here, and I got a GoPro on the POV hat. So I'm going to do my best to try and get this edited to where it's beneficial from all views. So 18 speed transmission, typically it would have a normal knob on it. Obviously mine's custom. This is the shift pattern. Normally it would be somewhere up on your dash or maybe on the back side of your visor, but as you can see, it's just an 8-speed basically. It's an H pattern. You got first, second, third, fourth. You got low, low. That's 3 gears unto itself, so that's what makes it an 18 speed. But outside of that, it's a 4-speed. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go back to 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this high-low that's on here, HL, that is this button right here. That's your overdrive. Okay? So, as you can see on the paper, it says you're supposed to select the splits before you shift. And then you got your high-low range here, which takes you from 4th to 5th. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, split it to the high side, and then you got 5 overdrive, 6 direct, 6 overdrive, 7th direct, 7th overdrive, 8th direct, and 8th overdrive. So that's the basics of it. You can see on here, you can look this up online. That's where I got this from, was online. I just printed it out on a normal piece of paper so I could show you, because I don't have it in my truck anymore. So then of course you got your reverse, and you can overdrive your reverse as well as go to the high side, but chances are you'll never get the truck to take off with it in the high side. You have to be moving really good and then flip it to the high side to get it to go that fast. I don't recommend that with a loaded trailer, ever. So but you can sometimes, if you watch my videos, you'll see me overdriving reverse, because it will give you a little bit better speed if you have like a long distance like this to cover. So anyway, that's about it on the rundown. Put this away, and so I excuse the mess. This is all GoPro mount stuff. So like I said, it's a 4-speed, so I'm gonna push the clutch clear down to the floor to engage the clutch brake. We're gonna go over and we're gonna go into first gear. That's first gear. If you are not familiar with these transmissions, move the stick around, you'll feel it. This right here, there's a hard spot right there. See how it wiggles like that? Right there, there's a hard spot. When you go past the hard spot over and up, that's reverse. And then low, low is right behind it. For all intents and purposes, you're never going to use low, low. That's only for like really heavy coming out of places, or maybe even if you haul heavy, obviously heavy like over 100,000 pounds, you might use it to take off, and then you can split it as well. So it's overdrive. I keep saying split, but it's overdrive. You can overdrive it. So you have first overdrive, second overdrive, third overdrive, fourth overdrive, and then you would pull it back, pull the lever up, and into 5th overdrive, 6th overdrive, 7th overdrive, 8th overdrive. Now on the bottom side, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're not going to use the overdrive. I mean, I might, but chances are I won't need it. The reason this truck has an 18-speed transmission, it used to have a 13-speed transmission, which a 13 is the exact same transmission, you just can't overdrive the first 4 gears. It won't even let you do this sitting still like this. Well, with this button down, it won't let you do it. You would have to pull this button up and then flip that. It'll allow you to flip that button. I have a chrome cover on mine. This gray button is what indicates this is a 18 speed. If it was a 13, it would be red. If it was a 15, which is a whole nother deal, it would be blue. And then there's other transmissions. We're not going to get into all of that. You can Google all of that stuff if you want to. This is about 13 or an 18 actually, and this button just pushes on. So 13 is going to shift the same way you're going to see me shift it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, split it into 5th overdrive, 6th overdrive, 7th overdrive, 8th overdrive. So excuse me, a 13 will shift the exact same way that you're going to see me shift this. So an 18 is just your ability to overdrive the bottom side. Now, if you're riding across the parking lot or something like that, being able to overdrive the bottom side when you're not heavy sometimes is beneficial, just so you're not at that RPM range where you're being loud. Well, my truck's loud. Or you got the RPMs up, or it'll bring the RPMs down to where they're manageable. But anyway, all right, let's get this show on the road, and you'll get to see me run through the gears here. All right, before we take off here, I had to go inside and get some drinks, but before we take off, I forgot to mention, when you're flipping the overdrive button, all you have to do is lift your foot off the floor and it will shift. You can hear the air actuator actuating right now. Same with the high-low range, it's just air, but you do not have to lift your how do I want to word that? All you have to do is flip the button, lift your foot, and it'll shift, and you can come back down on the throttle. You don't have to move the stick at all. Some people do move the stick. I'm not a big fan of that because I pull liquid tank and I have to shift quickly to adjust for the surge inside the tank. So anyway, let's get the show on the road. Again, push the clutch the whole way down, engage the clutch brake, and release the brakes, and away we go. Now I float gears. Oh, there's the liquid. I float gears, so I don't touch the clutch when I'm shifting. Most drivers who've been driving any amount of time don't. Clutch is for starting and stopping. Now we're coming out into construction here, so gonna make life a little more complicated. Going to the high side, flip the lever up and up into 5th gear. Now that is how you would shift a 13 speed, is like I just did. You wouldn't need to split the button to overdrive the bottom end, split the bottom end. Now we're going into 5th overdrive. I'm going to push the button, pick up on the throttle, come back down on the throttle. Now 6th direct. Sixth overdrive. Normally I'd be accelerating harder, but because we're into construction, now we're going to 7th direct. Just flip the button back and move the stick. Same deal. Push the button, lift off the floor, come back down on the throttle. Again, this is a liquid tank, so you can kind of feel the bump when the surge hits the back of the tank. I like like to shift at 17, about 1700 RPMs when I'm loaded. Sometimes I'll let it go to 18. See, we're starting up a little grade here, so I'll let it go to a little bit higher. I'll let it keep pulling. We also have a big headwind. Alright, we're starting to pick up RPM, so we're gonna pull the button back, lift, and go into 8th direct. Now we're going to 8th overdrive. Same deal, move the button, pick up on the throttle, and it'll shift. When you take the tension off the forks in the transmission, the air actuator automatically shifts it. Now if you want to downshift, just pull the button back, lift, and it'll shift. Same deal. Now we're going to go back to overdrive, 8th overdrive. And that right there, 8th overdrive, is what most people would call 18th gear. It's easier to differentiate between the gears by just going 1, 2, 3, 4 and then overdriving them. So you got first overdrive, first direct in overdrive, second direct in overdrive, third direct in overdrive, fourth direct in overdrive, fifth direct in overdrive, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to run through them all. That's enough of them. But anyway, so if you wanted to downshift, like I said, again, you're going to pull the button back, give it some throttle, and it will downshift. That's about it. When I get slowing down somewhere, maybe I'll do some video on downshifting it, but that's how you shift it. It's just in reverse when you're going down. Like I said, you pull the button back, put it in direct, then you would go push the button forward to go into 7th overdrive, 7th direct, 6th overdrive, 6th direct, and so on and so forth. But that's basically how it goes. That's how you're shifting it. A 13 or an 18 speed, but this is an 18 speed. Alright, I'm going to go into this service plaza here. I'm going to show you how to downshift an 18 speed. And we're down far enough now. We'll just go ahead and flip the button, lift off the pedal a little bit, and we downshifted. That's going to be 8th direct. Go to 7th overdrive. So we're going to push the button forward, give it some throttle, and downshift. And 7th direct. We're going to go straight to 6th direct because I had to slow down so much. Oh, there's that liquid. That's why you gotta watch pulling liquid tank while you're doing. Now I just went into 5th direct. I skipped 5th overdrive. And sometimes you slow down fast enough. That ramp was kind of short, so sometimes when you slow down fast enough, you can skip the overdrive gears. But that's it. That's how you downshift. Now we're going to go into 4th. Maybe. There we go. third. And doing all of that without the clutch. Oh, there's a truck in that one. Alright guys, that is how to shift an 18 speed up and then a little bit back down. For the most part, by the time you get into the low side, which is first through fourth, you're going to be pretty much slowed or stopped anyway, you know, close to where you got to be. Very rarely will you have to go into the high or the low side like I just did coming into a parking lot. But I shouldn't say very rarely, but you're going to be going real slow by the time you do it. So anyway, that's how to shift an 18 speed. So if you got any questions on anything that you think I may have missed or want to know anything, drop a comment, let me know, and hit the subscribe button if you like it. I got lots of other videos, and keep a shiny side up, rubber on the ground, and safe travels. We'll see you in the next one.